Okay, so what we got going on here is a rematch between the ThunderKitten, which is the Echo 4910 ported by Charles Briscoe. Look him up on YouTube. He's got all kinds of tech talks and stuff like that, and he does good port work, really good port work. So anyways, the ThunderKitten was ported by him, and then the Redmax is stock, with the exception of a couple little modifications that I have made. I gave it a good muffler mod. And I say it that way because with these, a lot of people just tend to like drill holes, and that's about it. But I got in there and I opened it up on the inside and gave it a nice pipe coming out. So I think it's 5/8 of an inch. You know, could be bigger for sure, and stuff, but that's not important. The important point is it has a muffler mod, and it has an opened up top cover, so that it'll just breathe a little bit better. But that's it. Other than that, it's all stock. Same chain on both saws. So let's get to it and see what happens.
I love cutting poplar. Poplar cuts like butter. Absolutely ripping.
Okay, so there we go. The rematch between these two saws is putting the ThunderKitten out front. And why is that? Why did it lose in the earlier match and win in this one? Well, it's because I wasn't comfortable in running it at tuned 15,000 RPMs in free spin. 15,000 RPMs. I wasn't comfortable with that, and so I continued to fatten it up. And well, I talked with Charlie about it, and he says, no, it's fine. You know, this whole time I've probably been running that saw too fat. So probably every time that it's lost, just about, it actually could have won. So there you have it. The wood probably also makes a difference because what I'm finding is in my oak, the teeth can't take quite a big enough bite, the chain teeth, because I'm just running them stock. And because of that, the faster RPMs of the ThunderKitten means that it's possibly skipping across the oak, and it's not doing that in this poplar. It's able to still grab the soft wood in a way that it couldn't grab the hardwood at a higher RPM. Because, like I said, this is just straight out of the box chain, steel RS chain. And whereas the Redmax, it's plenty strong as well, but at a lower RPM in any wood, it's actually able to get a better bite. I mean, think of it as biting a hamburger. All right, if your mouth isn't big enough to take that whole hamburger in, right, and you have to do it really fast, right, you're not going to be able to get as good of a bite as if you were able to slowly get that hamburger in and take a bigger bite. And so even though the Redmax is not as fast nor as actual powerful as the ThunderKitten, because it is a completely unmodified chain, what I think is happening is the Redmax is more capable of a bigger bite with its chain. And it's got more than enough power to pull that 325 chain right through the wood, whether it's a big bite or a little bite. And so I think think that what I've stumbled onto here is the reason why these 545s, and because the Redmax is nothing more than a Husqvarna 545 Mark I. But the reason why this is cutting so well is because that little 325 chain is more capable of a bigger bite if it's going slightly slower. And we're talking, you know, even like 400 RPMs difference, maybe something like that. So I think that's what's going on and why the Redmax is capable of running so well. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it whenever you use those two saws. You can feel that the chain is cutting better than it is with this ThunderKitten. You know, it is. It feels like it's cutting better. And it definitely feels like it's cutting better than whenever I run the Craftsman with the 346 XP cylinder on it that's been heavily modified. So, because that thing's spinning really fast. So, anyways, Grant sent me a little message. If you watch the channel, you know that I'm buddies with Grant Foreman, who is, he's done a lot of racing and a lot of experimenting with these chains and this and that and the other and stuff. And he says it's all about chain speed, and it's not that I don't believe him. I do believe him completely. But what I'm saying is I feel like out of the box like this, I just got to get those rakers down just a little bit. Not much, because then you're taking too big of a bite. And then God, I'm so stupid. But it's about getting that perfect blend of where the chain is biting properly for the RPMs that you're running. And what I'm finding is that on well, let's say the Polands that I like, the Poland high tops, nearly. So, and let's focus on the small blocks because they're pretty much all running 325 chain, right? Those things are only out of the box, you know, in the cut, you know, 9,000 RPMs, maybe less than that, maybe 8,500 in the cut, right? And well, this Steel RS chain feels great at that RPM range. It feels fantastic. And so whenever they're making those chains, they're not aiming at a highly modified saw. They're aiming at a stock saw, and they got a range probably of, my guess would be between 8,500 and 11,000 RPMs where they really cut nice. Really cut nice. You start getting above that, then your hand filing techniques need to be really on par in order to get the chain to cut as well as it does for these slower saws. See what I'm saying? Now, of course, you get to a point where you got so much power and so much speed that it doesn't matter. Of course. But these saws are really closely paired, and I think that ThunderKitten, the Redmax would obviously cut better as well if the chain was modified for it, right? But I think if the chain was modified for the ThunderKitten, the margin of improvement would be greater for the ThunderKitten. But not by that much. These saws are extremely well paired. They're extremely similar in power. So there you have it. Anyways, and you know, most of the stuff I don't know 100% what I'm talking about. I get that, you know. I'm just doing my tests and trying to learn and figure out, and I hope that you guys enjoy the footage, you know. And next up, after this video, we're going to take the winner here, which is the ThunderKitten, and we're going to put it against the highly modified Craftsman Black Magic and see how it compares to that one right there. But for now, that's all, folks.